Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with Campaign 2, Episode 9, Part 2. I just watched the hour-long Patreon exclusive, and I totally forgot I had to do this. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna do the Patreon hour, and then do Part 2. And I was so engaged and into it, I thought I had done the whole thing already, and I'm ending it like I'm going to jump right into the live stream. So, just in case you were a Patreon person and you watched the exclusive hour, it was also the longest of all the Patreon exclusives, I think. Not by like a lot, but I'm pretty sure it was upwards of like 110, 115 minutes, which is typically way longer. I feel like I usually do under an hour and 10 minutes. If you saw that and you thought I forgot, I did, and here I am. Last we saw, we are getting lots of dialogue. We meet this group of people who have some sort of political agenda. The dwarf guy's wife is thrown in prison. He's all distraught. Everyone's irate. I am sorry if I'm saying this wrong, but I feel like it is described as shrines. There are 6 major shrines. They did mention the Dawn Father, which is the shrine in which Pike was doing all her stuff from Vox Machina. People did say things will make sense, or you'll hear things that make sense from Vox Machina. I don't remember exactly what the years were between the two because I didn't think it mattered too much. I know I'll hear names that sound familiar, but I didn't think it would matter. Dawn Father is definitely the place that Pike was learning her stuff and doing her thing. Exactly how many years is it? We talked about Tal'dorei. We talked about the Winter's Crest, stuff like that. So things have come up recently that do trigger a memory from Vox Machina. Maybe ancestors will come up, maybe stuff like that. But I don't think we'll see our actual Vox Machina people. I don't know. But besides that, we're going around, we're asking tons of questions. We see this political meeting. We have Dolan who runs it. He said he lives over by the Apple Tree Tutor. That is one of the only places that teaches history and has any sort of education. Usually when things like that happen, it's because they're trying to not allow you to get educated, not allow you to learn the history because they want to make it where history never happened. We want you to only think about the now because we're the now and we want to run everything. And that seems like what's going on because we heard about that first, how there was very little places to go where you could learn. And then all of a sudden these people are like, yeah, we're all being run out of our businesses. The one guy has a practice with his friend. They're doctors or dentists or whatever they were. And he's like, the next thing we know, all our clients are gone. And this guy that was part of whatever faction or shrine it was is appointed to the top level of whatever their practice was. And they're all out of business. Some of these people look like they're trying to do it the right way, organize and fight back with politics and stuff, I guess. But it seems like they're way outnumbered and way too overpowered to be fighting against it like that. I give them credit. It looks like the dwarf guy is ready to go nuts. People were screaming in a huff like, well, let's fight, let's do this, let's do that. I feel like it's approaching the point where we're going to go to war. And it's probably setting up for that. And I'm assuming that we are going to be involved in some aspect or another. Obviously, they're building to something huge, and the Mighty Nine is going to be a thing. That's the last thing I'm going to talk about, then we're jumping in. The Mighty Nine got into an argument at the end. Right there at the end, we're going to the baths, but first we're going to the blacksmith. We're going to sell our weapons, talk to the blacksmith, maybe gear up a little, then get ourselves a little more dirtier than we already are, and then go to the baths and talk and discuss how we want to go about this as a group from here on, because everyone is thinking different things. Liam and Nott are together. Then Ford and Bo are like bosom buddies, but Jester is also connected to them. Molly's kind of getting along with everybody. Bo and Ford are their own kind of little dynamic, and Liam and Nott are. Nott is chaotic, but Liam kind of puts her in line. And Liam is obviously the adult of this entire group because Liam is like, guys, he's been doing it since the beginning to the point of people actually arguing with him and fighting with him. And now this was one of the worst arguments they've had. Let's talk about this. Don't just run up to the street crier, the town crier, and say, hey, you got your news wrong. The Mighty Nine did this, because we don't want that sort of light on us. We don't want the spotlight. We want to just kind of go through town, do odd jobs, make some money, and move on to the next one. We don't want everybody being like, oh my God, that's the Mighty Nine. That just brings attention that you don't want right now. We are low level. Eventually, we're going to get higher level. We're going to learn things. We're going to get weapons and artifacts and things like that people will eventually recognize us probably. Once we start setting up a reputation, people are going to start looking at Ford's sword and being like, hey, that looks like the sword of that guy that did this and that. It's just that, you know, it's early on. We haven't established that yet. Let the reputation build itself. No need need to aid to it. And then eventually when we have to deal with it, we will. But by that point, we'll be so much more powerful that we won't have to worry about shady people coming up behind us. Right now, we are very low hit points. We are very low level. We don't want gangs of people approaching us and saying, oh, you're the Mighty Nine. I bet we could take you. And then we're battling everybody in every town, everywhere we go. We're jumping in. You guys want to be way ahead. Full unedited episodes of all the shows on the channel. Seasons out of what you're seeing. If you're seeing this on YouTube, we do the hour-long Patreon in the middle, and we do the live streams on Friday. I put them up at 8:30. We usually start talking around 8:45, 9 o'clock, and then the show starts at 9:30. We've been doing it like that pretty much every week except Easter. So check it out. Link at the end for Patreon. If not, Campaign 2, Episode 9, Part 2. This is where we started, guys. We ended there for Patreon. I went a little back. Now here we go.
Alrighty.
This is where I broke.
To Bo. Listen, it's just about logistics. I mean, you
still look like me?
You are in. No, I dropped that.
Oh, okay.
Do you still look like me?
Physical condition. Your guns are
Liam
amazing.
looked
I
like
can't do
Ford
what you
to
do. I
pull
can't run
Jester
into it.
away.
Of course, I'm 100 yards back because I'm thin as a wet toilet paper.
Thanks, man. Thank
Clean
you.
as a wet toilet paper.
Thanks. I'm sorry. Were you trying to tell me about? I'm sorry. What?
What?
Yeah.
I gotta stop complimenting you. It does not lead to good moments. I walk away.
Okay, wait.
I'm going to start...
First time Liam's walked away from me in the camera.
Yeah, well, it's starting... You can see Liam is starting to get annoyed by people.
Following Jester, you make your way back to the Pentamarket,
like
to
there's
the
a
outside of the
weird line
Spark Hammer Smithing. Now, what was previously closed
Hammersmithing.
before, you can now see the open air smithy is lively and banging. You can hear
Banging, literally.
the slamming of hammer on metal and the shower of sparks from the exterior anvil setup that's currently there. There is the it looks to be.
I feel like
halfling man with
Blacksmith
deeply
would have been
tanned, kind of,
insanely strong
tan red
dudes.
skin,
Constantly
short black hair,
beating
and very very muscular
steel and
arms,
iron.
Who is currently has
There you go, muscular
leather
arms.
gloves on, leather apron, and is in the process of looks to be forging some sort of long metal blade and is just hammering it out over the heavy anvil on the outside. There is the trough for the quenching of the blade, and then the interior you can see a few steps away the orange glow of what looks to be the rest.
See,
of
who
the
could
Blacksmith
use a
interior.
weapon upgrade? Because I
There
feel
looks
like
to be
we all
something
have
on the
very
inside, but you don't get a view
specific
of them right now.
weapons.
You can just barely get what looks to be rows and rows and racks of various pieces of armor and weapons that are currently just hanging on display on the inside. There is nobody in the process of walking through at the moment, just in the process of crafting. So you are the only
Ow, my back just
individuals
cracked
who
like
are
30 times.
holding the space at the moment. To the ting, ting, ting. Turn.
Me and my cousin would
I
get
take my
wasted
bag and I
some
put it
weekends
down
and
on
just
the table
watch
in front of
dudes
them.
make shit out of forges. Like, I forget what the show is called, but they would make things out of, like, forges and
Yeah,
stuff.
things to buy and sell from you.
Well, that's all set and ready here for that. What you got? What you looking to buy?
Well, I pull out. Well, it
The
depends.
glaive.
Do you have a hand axe that I could buy?
It goes and sets the hammer into the water. The steam rises up. Kind of question the blade. Takes the gloves off and kind of wipes the heavy
That
sweat
whole-
from the brow.
Thing is interesting to me, like blacksmithing.
You're looking for a
Hand axe? Something that's very sharp and can kill people.
Oh,
that I can do.
oh my god.
And turns around on the inside of the building, comes back, and you can see he has two hand axes in the hands. Both look pretty well made. One's a little more intricate than the other, but both are pretty solid. So, we've got these two. Throws one and catches it, throws the other, catches it.
Okay. Put those on the table and then we'll look at some other stuff
ching.
first. Okay.
Why is she...
I have
Why an axe?
6 short swords.
Six
Put them down on the table. I've got 2 daggers here. I've got 2 hand crossbows, 2 light crossbows, and I've got a 2 heavy crossbows.
Oh my...
You place them all down.
My
and
God.
looking at the quality,
She's carrying a lot of
the
shit.
shininess and the smooth, fresh weaponry that he's placed on the table, and the pockmarked,
Used, damaged crap.
damaged, in some cases, knoll mess covered weaponry.
Covered in
You
shit and
immediately
blood from the
realize,
knolls.
Maybe scrap metal is a good thing for these.
Yeah, no, I'd say so. He's these all seen some use.
But they still got to be worth
Little light
something,
green.
right?
Sorry.
But also,
They're not. I mean, they're
we have
literally
some
just
other
scrap
things.
metal. They can't be
There
used
is
as
a chain,
parts and stuff.
Manacles. Cart?
Yeah.
We definitely.
Oh my
are here.
god, it'll be hilarious if we've
Definitely around
hauled
4
all this stuff all over and it's all
yeah,
worthless.
I have them.
Yeah,
Oh, were they in the bag?
I
Oh,
think
they're
if
in
we
the
put
bag.
everything in the bag,
Why
then we
you point
good.
that
You couldn't fit the manacles
Yeah.
in the bag.
Whoa.
Yeah, Ford was
Around
carrying
the
them.
neck of the manacle.
Well, then we
that big
fucking
around.
had them around our necks.
cart,
Yes, we were.
Yeah, you had them in the cart, so you could bring them along with you.
We knew we were going to the blacksmith,
Oh,
y'all.
Well, these here, these are some nice metal.
Oh,
And they were magic.
Yeah, show them the
They
rune on
were
the.
magic.
they were
They
magic.
had to be real good metal to be magic.
Let me have a look at that. We take some.
All right.
Pulls them out the chains.
The most expensive thing might be the manacles.
There's some real nice craftsmanship. You don't see something this well made. So, where'd you get this?
We killed some manacles.
This giant lion thing with a woman's head had them around it, and then we killed the lion thing.
We found it.
Yeah, how about we just found
You
it?
guys bring the cart with you?
Well, if we got it there, then yeah, probably.
He kind of glances past you. Well, the manticore head is still affixed to the cart, by the way.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
yes, it is.
That rotting head.
Rotting
Kind
head.
of looks past and goes,
It's gotta be stinking,
I'll take it, you mean
man.
that thing?
Yeah.
That's why it's scary. Well
Yeah.
done.
See, like things like that will start building our
All the
reputation.
weapons, I mean, the wood's mostly rotted, unfortunately. Some of the metal can be melted down and reused. Have to hammer out all the perfections. Throw a smelted all manacles.
Couple
Very
hundred,
nice.
maybe. Maybe because of the manacles,
Tell you
we'll get a
what.
couple hundred.
Give me the lot and the manacles. Give you both of these axes and put you at an excess of about 20 gold pieces.
You want both of the axes or just the one?
Why did we need any
I need another
That's-
weapon.
That's what I was
Just
wondering.
one of the
I was
axes
thinking the
is
same
fine.
thing. Why are we going for immediately for an
Okay,
axe?
about 25 gold in the one axe.
Is that good for you guys?
Works for me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little
I
light.
think that is a very good deal. What's your name, sir?
How much was the
Sorry about
axe?
that. No, Yannick. Yannick Hummel.
Yannick.
All right, whatever. I mean, what are we gonna do? Keep hauling around all this scrap metal? It's obviously useless to us.
The inside
Maybe we're
there is
getting
jam,
taken.
Helps around the place.
But we got to keep hauling around manacles. Let's get rid of them. You get an axe. We got some
Get your gold
gold.
for
Paid
you.
for the
Feels
night,
like-
and then some. That pays for 4 or 5
I
nights.
do not work in smaller bits of metal, unfortunately. More the heftier kind.
A
My apologies.
flask.
If you're looking for flasks, it kind of takes a moment to think of some. There's the wares and ends. They probably got something there for you. There's a peckware as provisions. They probably got flasks around that, mate. There's, well, they probably have some at the Lodge of the Eclipse. That's possible.
Lodge of the Eclipse.
Right.
Lodge of the
More
Eclipse.
hoity-toity nighttime tavern here in the Penta Market.
What's it called? Lodge of the
Lodge of the Eclipse. Hoity
It
toity.
has the great chosen stage.
Let's check it out. We got to check it out.
Anybody
I don't
might
care if it's
wanna-
pricey.
Scary lion head thing. Decorate their walls.
Specifically one that's kind of melting.
That's melting and
Soggy.
gross.
Taxidermist is
It's
nice.
soggy.
Taxidermist.
I
maybe,
don't know about a taxidermist, unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure if you ask around, you can go ahead and find someone willing to pay for that. I'd probably ask the Hall of Erudition. They deal in weird things and strange beasties.
I mean, maybe if it's seen better days.
The fancy.
It's got to be several days
of the
now. 2,
Eclipse.
3, maybe more days. We've taken breaks on the journey to Zadash. We've stayed overnight. That thing's got to be gross. How are we even standing near it? I mean, I guess it's just the times. Shit smelled bad.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys head on towards where now?
The bath?
We're in the. We're in
Or
the
should we try to sell the head first? The head's
Market
gross. We
area.
probably shouldn't
So
bathe
we're
and then
close
deal
to
with the
library
head.
That you mentioned? I thought it was in that area.
No, the library is the archive you're talking about.
Yes.
Archive is it's on the
Wait.
it'd be on the western side of the Penta Market.
Okay, so we're
in
closer
the sprawl.
now than
Yeah,
we
you're
were.
closer now,
Okay,
you're
so but I don't see the entrance from where we are. We're too.
No, but you can see it. It's not one of the tallest towers in the city. In fact, the Tri-Spires, as it's called, has 3 massive towers of all different designs that kind of
keep
float over
talking
the
the
rest of city. It's the first
Tri-Spires.
things you saw when you crested the hill on the way into the city the night before. This one is still visible from your perspective, though. It's a little more squat and maybe about 4 or 5 stories tall.
Kit and Caboodle is visible from here, or just.
Yeah.
Although you can see where the archive is, but it's maybe another 10-minute walk to get there.
Okay.
Not bad.
Does anyone mind if we just swing by and just take a look at the archive? Not go in, we have other things we're going to do, but just to take a look.
At the outside?
It's a bit of a tourist trap, but sure.
You've seen it before?
Oh, yeah. I lived here for like a short time. Passed through.
Okay, how long did you do that?
A few months.
Okay.
Interesting. I don't feel like we've ever heard
Yeah,
this.
it's pretty. It's pretty.
All right, if it's on the way, sure.
Okay.
There's a board between here and there. The job board.
Oh, the job board.
Oh, the posting.
What about selling the head? Go to the Hall of Erudition, was it?
The King's Hall?
Where the herald
I feel like we
hall
should
is.
deal with the Manicore head before bathing.
The King's
If
Hall
we're
actually
gonna.
is not
I
that
mean, we
far
gotta
from
do
the
something
archive.
with this head.
So it would be a brief detour to get there.
We could do a couple to the archive, couple to the
Yeah.
King's Hall. Just
Yeah.
pick it up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Would you like to show me the archive? Not the inside, the outside.
I think it's this direction, if I remember. It's been
Never
some
mind,
time.
I don't want to put you out. Anyone want to go see the archive? with me?
Enthusiasm, Bo. Enthusiasm.
Showing your archive would be good for you.
Come on.
See, I don't think Bo means it.
Just try it. Give it a whirl.
All right.
It would be great.
See,
if you could
Ford's
go
trying to
with
teach
me.
her. I dig that we're pointing this out.
Hey, Caleb.
Yeah?
Right this way.
She's really scary.
That
She's
fuck. Was that right?
It's just a volume thing sometimes. Okay, let's
He
go.
said enthusiasm.
Oh, jeez.
Is that not?
see, but the fact, like, Marisha should, or
right, so
Bo
you're in first?
should just be honest and go, listen, Caleb.
Okay.
I understand you're taking it the wrong way. I mean, the whole fact that she can't communicate properly, so it's hard to say.
Middle-aged woman, hair pulled back into a very, very tight bun, little like tufts of kind of curled hair around the edges. Same tabard in the front. She's shouting out, "Riot in Rexentrim squashed for peace. Radical groups brought to justice under the crown."
Radical groups. Radical groups brought.
dirty.
Yeah.
I follow behind her and yell, "Town crier has toilet paper stuck to her shoe!"
Just poor
In the middle.
child.
Next line. 2 weeks.
Jester is messing with children while they work. Real nice,
2
Jester.
weeks time till the Harvest Close Festival. Victory Pit in the Pensamarket entry begins in 4 days.
Wait, what did she
Harvest.
say?
2 weeks till harvest.
The
festival.
harvest
Close Festival.
harvest
Harvest
close. Close. The end of the harvest. Yeah, the harvest close festival.
2 weeks.
That could be taken
In a
so many ways. It could
fortnight.
even be like clothes like you wear if you didn't
In
see the
Pensamarket,
subtitles.
Entry begins in 4 days.
I always wonder. The subtitles help a lot.
Wait to get a really big piece of vegetable.
Big pumpkins. That's what I was thinking. Giant pumpkins.
pumpkins.
One of the kids that works at the arcade told
You
me,
eventually
I don't know
find
if
your
this
way
is
to the
accurate, but he
outside
told me his
of the
father
archive. And where you would solve
has the
was
record
kind of
for the biggest
tapering
pumpkin
tower
in New
that had
Jersey.
the
Grew
dome,
massive
kind of
pumpkins.
polished kind of sun reflection on one side. The rest of it you can see with the intricate carvings that happen with each bit of the spiral as it continues downward. You can see what looks to be 3 specific smaller spires that kind of, almost from this perspective, make it look like,
TIE fighter.
I would say almost like a TIE fighter on its side.
I get you.
Where it has, a series of smaller 3 spires in the base, and then the central spire that is the mainstay of the library.
I hear you.
But you can see there is a double door at the base, and a number of individuals dressed and look to be like deep gray robes with blue sashes, very, very, very gray and blue color scheme.
Blue
As you, approach,
and gray color scheme. The other place we were at had like
the
a
outside of
green,
you
I
can
think it
see
was.
folks entering and out, but as they enter and exit the facility, they usually enter and exit under the watch and being escorted by one of these individuals that seems to be a member of the archive.
Well then,
Okay.
pretty legit.
It's pretty.
Sure is pretty.
I would just like to look around. It's in a square, you say?
Well, it's built off of one of the main roads that leads in the direction of where the King's Hall is. So it's not like in a major square area, but it's off a large road.
Well, I am no super spy, but I would like to just look at the area and see what I see in the nature of security, other than these obvious robed figures.
I would feel like they have more
All
security.
the windows that exist are at least 8 feet off the floor, and look to be a very thick stained glass.
Okay.
The only entrances you see are currently guarded by at least 2 members of the archive. And the dress of them actually is very close to the individual that helped in the trial that you had in Trostenwald, who introduced himself as Xenoth.
Oh.
The one who had kind of helped provide information that eventually got you off the hook for that trial. But you can now see similarities in the color scheme of their attire and the way that it's worn. It's ceremonial. It looks like it comes with some sort of a ceremonial robe. But they're all uniform.
Is the fact that
Xenoth being more intricate and longer?
Xenoth was familiar looking to these people.
And you said everyone going in and out.
I'm almost thinking like, do we walk up and go? Well,
What do the people
I wouldn't say
who-
nothing.
If I see 1 or 2 people going in or out, what do they look like?
One of them you see appears to be a woman very well dressed.
I was going to say,
looks to be
people
a
that go in
high
these
collar,
places must be
buttoned-up
high
blouse of some
society.
kind, a dress that just barely cuts off right where her ankles hit the ground with his very nice shoes. Looks to be a very well-off humanoid woman, a human.
Does she look grumpy?
Because not
She
supposed to
looks
rob
stoic.
grumpy people. Stoic.
Leaves the very
Is she leaving or coming?
leaving.
I will follow her.
Okay.
I see. I don't
The
know.
other one, looks
Let's
to
see
be
how this goes.
A man probably in his late 30s or so.
Probably
Also
shouldn't be
human.
robbing people outside the
He
archive when
has what
Liam
looks to be
is
a
interested
cluster
in
of
it.
small pieces of parchment that are folded and kind of wadded into his arm, and he's leaving like he just either is taking something out or is retrieving something.
Same fancy type?
Less fancy than her, but still more well off than most of the other individuals that have passed through.
Fancier than me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Caleb, you still smell apparently.
That's a beautiful
Well, yeah, we didn't bathe yet.
They're all wearing the same thing. You lived here for a few months. What do you know about this place?
There's a lot of books in it, and fancy people are super interested in it.
Is it? I mean, I obviously am very interested in learning. Is it easy to gain admittance? Do you know that sort of thing?
I think you
I'm
just
not
walk.
totally sure. I know they are super into their knowledge.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, knowledge means you're like powerful or something.
Well, he can change his appearance,
Yeah.
bathe, go back when you look
Knowing
and smell great.
Better. Books.
Well, you've really sold me on it. Let's go find the others.
While that's happening, you are following this woman down.
I'll try to stay 25 feet.
See,
behind
I
her.
talk to people about this all the time. Sometimes it's not your fault if you were never taught how to behave in a social environment. But at a point, you do have to have some self-responsibility and realize that you're,
immediately
like
comes to
right there,
mind.
obviously it was
She's
intentional, but she's
currently,
got to know
replies
that's
heading some direction
not
with
trying.
earnest intent. The escort, of course, that had helped her out of the archive stays behind and re-enters the building, and she just continues on her own, but stays mainly on the main street. Doesn't go and duck down any alleyways. Very much for her own personal safety during the day, as staying out in the open.
Does she have any bag, purse,
something
invisible necklace, pocket,
pickable
anything?
stuff.
There
Pickable.
do appear to be like 2 small pockets in kind of the front waist part of the blouse, and what looks to be a small satchel
Sash.
that's hanging off the right.
That's what you go for, the
you know,
satchel.
over the left shoulder, and off the right side of the body.
Do I have any chance in hell of knowing where she went? Because I started looking around immediately.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
I think Liam's going to try to stop.
You have no idea.
Oh,
you come back and
my
Knott's
God.
gone.
Great.
She's an adult goblin woman girl. She's fine.
This coming from Bo.
Not helping.
An adult goblin woman girl.
Okay, I look around. Do I see Knot? Yeah,
at-
haphazardly.
Haphazardly.
Not at this point.
Knott's running. Look
Going
at
to look around
Sam.
now is what we're doing.
All right, so while the rest of you are kind of regathering yourselves together to continue on to the next step of your journey, not
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and try to pick. Well, let's see. Can I unbuckle the satchel thing, or would it be easier to just get in a pocket?
it's up to you.
I'll go in a pocket.
Probably the pocket. I feel like
pocket?
unlatching it would be way worse.
yeah,
What
two
happened to the
side
little
pockets.
So
window?
like, yeah, kind of the
Their window
front of
went
the
black.
blouse,
Front of the blouse.
Front of the blouse.
Like kind of.
Or a satchel on her
I
side?
think the satchel
I'll
on
do
the
side satchel.
Yeah, the side satchel sounds
Go ahead
way
and roll
easier.
a sleight of hand, please.
Okay.
In the front, you'd have to like stop her.
11.
Okay.
That's
Higher than 10?
that's my thing. I always say 12 and 13 make me comfortable.
All right. So
11 is
as-
right
as
outside.
You're walking and you're concentrating. You watch as the satchel itself kind of lifts and tugs, and just tugs, and her head kind of spins around and looks behind her and looks back.
Sort of press up against the wall.
Glances around confused. Eyes one of the small like pauper children that's off to the side, just kind of begging on the side of the road, and scoffs and holds her chin up, and then continues walking with.
She
a brisker
thinks the
pace.
little poor kid did it.
Make a stealth check, please.
Stealth.
22. Oh, he's
Kill the babies and false imprisonment for the kids.
killed the baby.
All right, brisker pace.
Yeah, false
does not seem
imprisonment
to have
for
taken
homeless
notice.
kids.
You were tracking.
A little closer this time. No, I'll try for one of the pockets this time.
Okay.
Oh my god. Ooh, 12. Oh my god.
12.
He's like on the brink. He's like right on the brink each time. 12
There's a
might
brief
get
moment
something.
where you watch the flap of the blouse kind of open up and expand a bit as the mage hand begins to reach in for what is within. And then with a slight tug, you watch as two of the blouse buttons bounce off, and just a bit of the brassiere shows, and she closes her shirt real fast and looks about again, and turns, and what you can see is a man there who's selling apples on a small cart on the side, is maybe 2 feet from her, and goes, "Miss, the apple," and she just whack smacks him right in the face. And he's, what? How dare you?
Not
Holding her shirt closed.
It's
and
getting
bundles
everyone in
up
town
herself
in
her
trouble.
Arms and just is now like beelining it deeper into the city.
Told it a good way.
keep going now.
I run up to where that happened and I pick up the 2 buttons.
That's all not wanted. The good enough. Yeah. See, now I'm contradicting myself. But see, this is different than cheating at cards. If he gets, I did it.
These 2 things, they're very nice and round and shiny.
That's all Nod
Very
cares
nice.
about.
Why did
Just
you
want
come
some
from?
treasures.
A very grumpy person. She was awful. She scowled at children and slapped an innocent man for no reason.
See, Not sees it like that. She was truly evil because of the way you perceive
That
it.
is, 20.
If you want an insight check, all right, we gotta make a deception check then. If you're,
Well, maybe she believes that.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that's true, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Sam really believes it because that's
Okay, well.
what Sam would think.
My itch
I saw this and this is what happened, and it really did. It's all on the eyes of the beholder.
Good about everything that just happened. I
In
feel
that time
so
that
good.
Knot was gone, could I spot the Allhammer temple?
Make a perception check.
The Allhammer Temple. Or the Platinum House.
12.
Unfortunately,
that was early.
unfortunately, no. The Platinum House nor the Hearth of the Allhammer were noticed. The Hearth of the Allhammer exists in the Pentamarket on the northern side. And you guys have kind of cut through to get directly to the kind of the vicinity of the House. In the area you are now in the city, you don't have any sort of visual on the Platinum House.
I still think we should have went to the Hall
So as
of
you guys have gathered yourselves together,
Erudition
you
or
make your
whatever
way
it is.
towards the Steam's Respite. We're gonna take a break.
All right, guys, so we're on our way to the Steam's Respite. This is the hoity-toity bathhouse. The only thing is, I would have definitely dealt with the Manticore head. I don't know what we're going to do. It probably looks badass on the card, and that is the type of thing that will establish an anonymous reputation. People will be like, who are those people that apparently killed this giant beast? The blacksmith told us that the Hall of Erudition or Erudition, I cannot remember, but it was an E-U-R something. Whatever he said that place deals with beasties. They like weird stuff. Go there. We need to get rid of this head. If it hasn't already, which would blow my mind, it's got to be stinking. It's rotting. They said it looked like it was melting and it's mush. There is a festering, rotting manticore head, a giant manticore head on our cart. We should have done and handled that before anything, but we've done our blacksmithing. We got an axe for Jester. I thought that was a little odd why Jester immediately went to an axe as a weapon, but hey, whatever the reason, Sam said the same thing. She's like, I just want an axe. I want to kill people. I want to fight. I need a weapon. We get a fancy axe. We get about 25 gold, I think it was. We got rid of the manacles. We got rid of all the crossbows and weapons and everything. I would have thought we got a lot more for all that. Then I was thinking maybe we didn't because the axe cost a lot. But when he deducted one of the axes, because originally he was going to give us 2, he only deducted or added 5 gold. I thought the manacles would have got us at least 100 gold based on the fact he said this is some quality metal and stuff like that. I guess he still does have to melt it all down and they got to do all the work of banging out the imperfections and probably scrapping half of the parts of the weapons that are already very well used, got null blood and probably feces and shit all over it. I still don't understand what we're going to do with the Manticore head. As the days go by, it's just going to become more worthless and more gross and more smelly. And now we're going to the bathhouse. I'm surprised Talzin seems like he's been on top of this. Liam and Talzin have been on top of the adult things that you got to worry about, the organization of things. I feel like one of them should be like, guys, not for nothing, we need to deal with this head. We're hauling around. It's probably weighs 100 pounds. How much does a Manticore head weigh? I feel like a human head weighs like 20 pounds. A Manticore head has to weigh like 100 plus pounds, maybe more. No one's talked about it. I mean, I'm probably making such a huge thing out of the Manticore head, but to me, it's like, get rid of that festering, disgusting thing. We brought it up briefly, but no one made a final decision. The hour-long Patreon video, they all got into a fight about what they're going to do as far as a group setting, not making a big deal out of the name The Mighty Nine and having a reputation follow us around to put a spotlight on us. But now we're going to the bathhouse. My guess is the live stream is going to be us getting to the bathhouse because we're probably going to make 1 or 2 more stops. We're talking about all these different shrines, the Platinum House and the All Hammer. I'm guessing that we're going to, at some point soon, get to the bathhouse in the live stream, and then we're going to have this talk. We're going to all lay out our cards, because Caleb made it sound like, listen, if you guys are going to keep doing this, maybe me and Not won't be part of this group. Now, obviously, they'll figure something out, I would think, because I doubt that they would just go off on separate journeys. You guys said they could do solo missions, they could go off on their own, they could do their own thing. I've never seen it happen, besides with Ashley Johnson, who's Pike and had to dip, and who was obviously Yasha. In this, she's Yasha, but that makes sense because she has other things she has to do, and she has a show she has to film. She's doing Blind Spot. So that makes sense that she jumps in and out. As far as the main 6 here, I have not ever seen them dip on each other for more than like a part of an episode. Not even like a part, like one of my parts. They might dip for 5-10 minutes. They always come back together as a group. I don't think I've ever seen a full episode where all of them didn't start together and end together. I don't think that's a thing, but I think Liam's basically just trying to drill in their heads like, listen, we got to be smart about this. I know you want to have fun. I know it's entertaining. I love it. For the sake of entertainment and insanity, I love it. Like movies like this. I love insanity. Snatch, you got like Smoking Aces. Those kind of movies are off the wall insanity. Everyone does the wrong thing, but I'm like, hey, if they didn't do the wrong thing, I wouldn't have this entertaining movie. So it's entertaining and I love it for that. But as a group, and Liam being the parental figure, he's basically saying, guys, we can't be like this all the time. This is inevitably going to be our downfall. We can't be looking for reputations and having all this fame, and we can't be acting mean and sassy and making a target on our backs. We're making it where we're too obvious. And that's what Liam's saying. And the rest of them are like getting an attitude about it. And this is what happened last time, way back in the earlier episodes when we were at the carnival. Bo and I believe Jester and Ford had it out with Liam about something then too, where they were like, well, you don't got to get an attitude about it, blah, blah, blah. And it's almost like the type of people who, when you call them out on their bullshit, they get mad at you for it. And that's what I don't like. Liam's basically saying, listen, I'm just telling you, this is not the way things are done. And you guys all get either angry at me or defensive, and you're clearly doing things that aren't right. And if you don't know it, you got to learn. And Ford's trying to help Bo. Talzin, this episode as a whole so far, has been kind of like a different person. I don't know if his character is kind of getting the group now and unraveling himself, but he also looks like he just got back from a exotic vacation because he's very red in the face, almost like he got sunburned, like he was away. He looks like he's very well groomed. I don't know. He looks very alert and alive and in good spirits. I don't know if that's him personally or it's coming out into his character, but I've very much enjoyed him. Him and I want to say Ford have gone up in my ranks this episode so far. But everyone's kind of in the same boat right now. We're on our way to go get some bathing. Hopefully, we deal with the Manicore head, and then we have a talk, and we all kind of get on the same page here. We're going to do it in the live stream. It's going to be Friday. 8:30, I put up the thing. 9 o'clock, I usually jump on, and we start talking. Get ready for 9:30 when we watch the show. If you guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. That's where you get the Patreon hour. At some point soon, I am going to probably start campaign 1, but you guys will know when I do. I'll let you know. Patreon link in front of me. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.